I'm serious, Steve. Like, this is my last day.
Bad little flex, she wanna know me. I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby, let them hoes sleep. Body on 10, make your girl OD. I get in my way, never out of my lane.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Imani. If you are new here, if you are, thank you so much for clicking on this video. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about what you need to do before leaving your job. I have about 7 tips that I want to share with you. This is definitely a follow-up to my video on how I transition jobs into the tech industry and how you can too. So I'll have that video, if you haven't seen it, linked above here, and I also put it on the screen so you guys know exactly which one I'm talking about. I put some good gems in that video, and what I learned from posting that video on YouTube is that so many of us are in the same position. A lot of us feel stagnant. A lot of us don't know what to do or what the next steps are, or are just feeling a little bit comfortable and don't know exactly when to make a move or if to make one at all. So I highly recommend checking out that video if you haven't seen that already on how I did it. But today I'm going to give you 7 tips, well, basically a 7-tip checklist to do before you think about leaving your job or before you actually go ahead and make the move. So let's get on right into the video. All right, so tip number 1 is I want you guys to assess your situation individually. If you've been thinking about leaving your job, you want to think about why that is the case, why you want to leave, what is causing these feelings, and what you want to do about it. So definitely take into account, is your work environment toxic? Do you just not like the people you're around? Do you not like the actual work that you do? And then think of the reason, what is it that's making me want to leave, and see how long you've been feeling this way. If you've been feeling this way for maybe like a week or 2, maybe it's a little bit early to determine like, oh, I just don't like the people I work with. Probably haven't been feeling this way the whole time or for a while. So I would just take a little bit more time, maybe reassess the situation in about 3 to 6 months and see what you're feeling then. But if you've been feeling like your work environment is toxic, or you just hate the work that you do in general, and see how long you've been feeling those emotions or just feeling that way, and just how it makes you perform at work. You spend what, 8, 10, 12 hours a day at work sometimes, so you want to be happy, you want to be in a good mental space. So I want you to see how you're feeling and see how long you've been feeling it before you make any moves or move on to any of the next steps. Okay, so step number 2 is figuring out a plan. So now you've assessed the situation and you decide, yes, I still want to leave. I still want to leave this job, whether I want to leave to become my own boss, or leave to get another job, or leave to take a break. You decided, regardless, you're tired of this job, you want to leave. Next step is definitely to figure out that plan. So let's say you want to take a break for a little bit. You want to decide how much you have saved. You want to look at your finances, see your situation, how much money do you have saved, and how long is that going to hold you over for. So if you want to take like a 6 months to a year break, you want to make sure that you have enough money to cover up in your emergency fund your 6 months to a year expenses in case anything comes up. So you want to cover your rent, you want to cover your food expenses. If you have a family, you want to make sure that they're okay. Like, you just want to make sure that all of that money is put together and you're good to last that long. Or even if you want to just take a month or 2 off like I did. I took a 2-month sabbatical, as I mentioned in that previous video, but I just wanted to make sure that I had enough money to last me those 2 months, last me enough to pay my half of the rent, food expenses, things to do. Even if I just want to go out with my friends, I would still be able to do that. Just make sure I have that money saved, so I will be okay in that situation. And I definitely want you guys to make sure that that's what you want to do. And even if you to explore other opportunities while you're taking a break. Do you have any additional streams of income, or is there any ways that you can make any additional streams of income? Because just because you don't have your 9-to-5 job, or you want to leave your 9-to-5 job, doesn't mean that during your time off while you're taking a break you can't make any additional money. There's definitely so many side hustles out here where you can make money. I'm doing mine right now on my YouTube channel. I am grateful that I am able to make a little bit of extra money on my YouTube channel by creating videos, doing sponsorships, whatever. So think of what is it that you like to do and try to create a stream of income from it. There's so many ways online that you can make additional money. You can do driving for Uber or DoorDash, whatever. Create a blog online, stock investments. You know, there's so many different ways to make additional money because you just don't want to depend on your savings, because if you need to leave for longer than you had planned, then you don't want to deplete your savings. You want to have like a little bit of extra money coming in. So figure out a plan on if you're going to be able to last however long you want to take a break, or if you don't even want to take a break, just figure out a plan on how you're going to have another job lined up immediately after you leave this one. So we'll get into that later on in this video, but if that's what you're trying to do, you just want to leave your job and start the next one right away, you want to figure out how you're going to do that. So now your plan is in place, you are ready to go, you know what you're going to do, you know how long you're going to take a break. You want to figure out after you go back to work or when you decide to go back, what is going to be your next move. If you like the industry that you're in currently and you just don't like your company, let's say that the cultural values don't align with yours, or you just don't like your boss, or whatever the case is, you enjoy the work that you do, but you just don't like your current position or your current company, you're just going to want to do some research into what other companies do the same type of work, what their cultural values are, and make sure that when you're interviewing in those processes that you're asking these important questions to make sure that you're not getting yourself into a situation that you were in previously before. But if you're looking to change industries as a whole, then you definitely want to see what kind of skills that you have and currently possess that can be moved from your current job to your next. In my situation, I was in the insurance industry. I did not like being in the insurance industry. I could have moved from claims to underwriting, or underwriting to like risk management or something, but I was not interested in any of those type of roles. I just wanted to move industries as a whole. I wanted to gain more skills and just take on more challenging work. So I decided to leave the insurance industry as a whole. So I had to figure out what skills I needed to go ahead and make that move. So you need to kind of do some research and figure out when you're going to come back to work, if you're going to come back at all, and decide how you're going to get from the point where you're at now to your next career move. All right, the next thing is super, super, super important, and I definitely want you guys to do this like today if you guys are clicked on this video because you really just are looking to make the next move. You need to set a deadline. Set a deadline on when is going to be your last day at your current job. You need to know exactly when you want to be handing in your resignation, and then 2 weeks later walking out the door, returning your equipment, and not looking back. Setting a deadline is just going to give you basically a kick in the ass to get serious. Whether it's coming up soon, like let's say you want to have a new job in the next month or two, then that will give you a literal kick in the ass to start your research, start applying, get your resume together, practice your interview questions, whatever it takes to get into the next position. If we don't set a deadline, then we're just depending on, I'll do it whenever, and that just keeps us in the same position. Think about how long you've been thinking about how you don't like your job currently and how much you want to leave, and how long you've been having these feelings, like I mentioned in the beginning. If you've been thinking about this for so long, it's probably because you haven't set a deadline on when you want to leave and when you want to make your next career move. If you have a deadline set, you have it written down somewhere, you have it posted on your computer screen, you have it as a notification on your phone, you know that after that date, I don't want to be here anymore. That deadline is just going to basically get you to be more serious about looking and planning and moving. So yeah, that brings me to my next point about getting serious. So if you've been feeling like you want to leave for such a long time, and you just haven't done anything about it. You feel like your career has been stagnant, but you're just comfortable. You're comfortable with the pay. You're comfortable with the people you work with. You're comfortable with your position. You know your job really well and you do well. So you don't really find a reason to want like to get serious about wanting to leave. I don't know how you guys are going to take this, but being stagnant is partially our fault. So if you feel like you're stagnant in your position and you felt like this for some time now, that's partially your fault because you're not taking it serious to move on to the next level, move on to the next career path, move on to like becoming your own boss or whatever it takes to get you out of feeling that way. So what I want you guys to do is seriously apply for these jobs. So look on LinkedIn, look on Glassdoor, look on Indeed, because those are good places. Those are the top 3 sites that I usually use. Look at those, research the job descriptions, research the skills that you will need, and get serious. Apply, fix your resume, update it. You guys have probably been in these jobs for how long and haven't updated your resume at all. So that will be the first step of getting serious. Read those job descriptions and seriously apply. Take it serious because that is the only way that you're going to move from point A to point B. And if you don't, you're just going to be complaining that you're stagnant, you're in the same place, you don't know what to do, even though you have all of these tips and you know exactly what to do. You're just overall just being lazy. But get serious about it, or else next year you're probably going to be complaining and still in the same position, and you don't want to do that. You want to be able to look back and say, yeah, I did this, I took the initiative, and I'm able to move into my dream career or move into another career that leads me to my dream career. All right, you've gotten serious now and you have started applying, you started researching, you started looking at in jobs that you might be interested in. Now it's time to learn what your transferable skills are. So you are going to want to know what you can bring from your current role and have it be valuable into your next career path. Every job has a transferable skill. Even if you're starting at McDonald's and you want to move somewhere else, McDonald's has transferable skills. The healthcare industry has transferable skills. Literally every single job that you're in has transferable skills. So let's say that you did work at McDonald's. Some of those transferable skills are customer service, because you're going to be dealing with people all the time, in and out the door, dealing with different attitudes, dealing with how to communicate to people. That's going to give you customer service skills, which will be valuable in any career path that you go into, because it will likely be you're going to have to talk to people, you're going to have to communicate, you're going to have to deal with customers, whether that's on like the front end or even like in a back end role. You're still going to have to deal with how the customer perceives the company. So McDonald's can give you customer service skills. It'll give you operation skills, because you'll know how to operate a business and go over the business plan and see exactly what you need to do to operate your job in an effective manner. And it also gives you accountability skills, and those are definitely transferable into any single job that you go to. Now let's say that you are in a finance career. Some of those transferable skills are the ability to problem solve, the ability to have analytical skills, and the ability to have knowledge of important digital tools like Excel or some SQL, or just some other popular and well-used tools across different industries. Those are some transferable skills that you'll have from point A to point B. If you're in the healthcare career, you definitely will be good with teamwork, working with other people, working with other nurses or doctors, or whatever kind of healthcare position you're in, working with people. That gives you great teamwork skills. It helps you with planning and organization. So let's say that you're a nurse and you want to transfer somewhere else or to a different industry. Like, nurses and doctors have to be well planned and well organized, keep everybody's information together, so they're not making any mistakes with patients or anything. So that definitely gives you organization skills, and planning is definitely transferable to other industries. You will also be good at time management and good at research if you're coming from the healthcare industry, so you can use those skills. And let's say that you're a lawyer. So lawyers have transferable skills. They're probably very creative people. They have to come up with these speeches or whatever they're called. I'm not a lawyer, obviously, but they have to like present these information of facts in the courtroom. They're probably very good at writing, very good at research, very good at time management, and they have great empathetic skills. And empathy is one of the most important skills that companies are looking for. Can you manage other people? Can you work with other people? Can you talk to customers in an empathetic way? Can you like see what they're feeling and reciprocate that back to them, but in a helpful manner. So those are just some really, really important skills. And obviously these are not just skills that can be used across each industry that I had mentioned. You can use your time management skills in the finance industry, the healthcare industry, the lawyer industry, and McDonald's industry. They're just examples of transferable skills that you might have that can take you into other career paths. So the very last thing that I want you guys to do, so I know that you're serious, so I know that you're taking initiative and that you're actually going to do the previous steps that I mentioned, I want you to draft up that resignation letter. Put it in a Word document, put it in Google Drive, wherever you save your files, just write it up and address it to your current boss. I want you to be like, "Dear Steve, please accept this letter as my formal resignation letter. I plan to resign from my current position on this date," so on and so forth. Look up sample resignation letters and what you need to do and how you need to write one up. If you want me to do a separate video on that, I can do a separate video on that. I did one. I had my resignation letter ready to go probably like a month before I sent it out. So that also gave me a kick to actually take it serious, that I really want to leave and I really want to move industries. And that's just like the very last step that you'll need. So if you look at that resignation letter like every week or even every day, you'll know that I set at this date and I want to be out of this position by this date. I'm serious, Steve. Like, this is my last day. I'm not staying here a day after this. Yeah, take that into account. Take that as you will. It might not be beneficial for everybody to do that, but it helped me for sure, because I knew by a certain day and time, like I was done. I'm not coming back. I hate this job. I don't hate y'all, but I hate this work that I do, and I'm looking to move forward. So it helped me. All right, you guys, that was all that I had. If you stayed to the end of the video, please, please, please hit that red subscribe button down below and give it a thumbs up, as it helps me out with the YouTube algorithm so much. If you guys have other career videos in mind that you want me to see or do, or that you guys want to see or for me to do, put them in the comment section down below. Let me know what you thought of these tips and if they were helpful. And I hope I can get more career content out for you guys. Whatever you guys want to see, just let me know, and I'll be sure to bring the content. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.
Know it's all